I haven't went to sleep yet, so.
Instead, it was their worst nightmare. He had moved to Australia from Gurujat, India, 4 years ago. He enrolled at Charles Sturt University to pursue a master's degree in accounting. He also worked as a part-time delivery driver to support his studies. Every time he spoke to his family, he sounded happy. He was making friends, his professors were supportive, and he was happy to be there. Now he was gone, and they had no idea who could have done this. They had just spoken to Malin earlier that day, and there was nothing that had them believe he was in trouble. His
Morning.
Australian friends also spoke to the authorities and described him as hardworking but humble and an easygoing man. He made no enemies. He was funny, kind, and generous.
He was a very humble personality.
Hello.
Very jolly nature. He used to crack jokes, and he loved to play cricket.
All his loved ones wanted answers, and so did the Melbourne authorities. When Jamie Lee was arrested, her phone was confiscated, and the detectives looked through her most recent activity. Just
Not
that
doing
day,
great.
July 23rd, 2018, she had logged onto a dating app called Plenty of Fish and matched with Malin. Her Plenty of
Thanks.
Fish bio read, borderline personality disorder and idle tendencies, into extreme fetishes, vampire fantasies, biting people, and being against my will. It's safe to say Jamie Lee's bio was not particularly inviting. If anything, it was quite disturbing, and it sounded like she needed help more than a date. But dating apps are not generally places where people look for psychiatric help.
Nothing. I figured I'd come live since I hadn't been live for a few days. So
Worry about her bio later.
I have to figure out how to get my dad like clothes for the winter now. Like he lost all of his clothes in storage and he only has a few pairs of clothes right now. So that's the next goal. Even if it's like dollar store like shirts and stuff, I still have to get him stuff.
The authorities didn't just
Hey Danielle.
phone to go through. They had Jamie herself inside an interrogation room. Their question for her was simple enough. Why on earth did you take this man's life? Jamie Lee simply responded that she was having a bad day. So after she matched with Malin on the dating app, she decided he was going to be her first prey. She was telling the truth. When investigators went through her computer, they discovered a series of Google searches she had made shortly after inviting Malin over. Here are some of them. I'm going to kill someone tonight for fun. I'm going to kill someone tonight. Help.
Thanks.
10 steps to committing a murder and getting away with it. Jamie Lee said that when Malin arrived at her address, she was even more confident she could do it. He was small enough for her to be able to outpower him.
Oh, I'm alright. My dad told me last night that, since winter's coming now, I have to try and, we both have to try to figure out how I can get him some clothes. He needs sweatpants, he needs socks, he needs underwear, he needs shirts, he needs sweaters. He has none of it. He only has like 3 pairs of pants and maybe a handful of shirts, like t-shirts. And I gave him one of my hoodies, but it's kind of tight on him, so.
He could just tap her if he wanted it all to stop. However, she never planned on respecting that rule. And
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Her disturbing game, she strangled Malin with a toy. While he tapped
They
her
gave a lot of
desperately and
programs
tried
that
to
help
take
with
her
clothing.
grip, she
No, I know,
whispered
that's
in
just
his ear,
not.
"It'll be okay."
My dad just doesn't want to wear hand-me-downs. He feels
The
gross.
detective clarified it
So.
one last time with Jamie when he asked her
I already told him
what was
that.
the intention. She simply replied, "Murder."
Oh, Sierra, congratulations.
After an online date went terribly wrong. The victim has been identified as
I hope so, Danielle.
25-year-old accountant living here in Melbourne.
I wanted to get him a new, I need to get him sneakers too, and some slippers. So, 2 pairs of shoes. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you could try again.
The woman's home was a supported residential service, visited frequently by carers, and neighbours told me this afternoon that police too were frequent visitors to the address to quell noisy and sometimes violent disturbances there.
Yeah, this is a twist that makes this case all the more tragic.
4 times the charm, yeah.
Jamie Lee was a troublemaker with a really disturbed mind who needed all the help she could get.
I wish you good luck on that, but congratulations on your baby boy.
And until she turned 18, she had carers living with her 24/7. That is, when she wasn't in juvenile prison. Indeed, Jamie Lee had a criminal record since her early teens.
I did make a wish list a while ago on Amazon, but after I had it posted on my TikTok here for like at least 3 or 4 months, literally nobody even checked it out, so I just took it down. But yeah, my dad and I'm just probably gonna get him stuff like cheap that I can get at a store. I'm not trying to go extravaganza. And he doesn't care. He just wants shoes that don't have holes in them, you know.
Foster care drift is deeply frustrating to a developing child.
It took me 4 times. What are you talking about? Oh, for a girl?
Happens much more easily when there's a stable base of security and self-confidence. Detachment and the destruction of the capacity for intimacy are not the only results of long stays in foster care. Frustration can lead to aggression. An unstable childhood generates a deep-seated and often subconscious anger. While childhood anger can be addressed and socialized in a proper setting, left untreated, it might flare up later on.
Is today Wednesday or Thursday?
It flared up bit by bit until her social carers
I think it's
did.
Thursday.
After her horrific crime made headlines everywhere, one of her carers described her as a shape-shifting demon girl.
Yeah, that's what I was told the first time around when I made it, but I don't know, I just didn't get anything from it, but I do have a GoFundMe on my profile now if you guys want to read about our situation and see our unfortunate living conditions right now, so if you want to check that out, I appreciate any donations there.
Customers get better answers in seconds. Agents get more time for the tricky stuff. And leaders get a more efficient support process. And happy customers. Better, faster, or cheaper. Go ahead, pick off.
Every time you go to lay down, I think he'd take off his shirt and he's totally ripped. I can't remember.
Thank you.
I want to see someone who looks more like me.
I appreciate it.
Like in many other tragic true crime cases, the investigation revealed that as much as Jamie Lee was a monster, she was also failed by the system, which did not offer the help she had needed for so long.
I don't know what to do with myself this morning.
Confessed to being scared of her. She was unpredictable.
I should be trying to go to sleep.
She would go from 0 to 100 within the blink of an eye, and the carers felt unprepared to deal with her. Perhaps Jamie Lee was telling the truth in her Plenty of Fish bio. What the carers described fits well within the borderline personality disorder symptom chart. Unstable, intense relationships, strong fear of abandonment, rapid mood changes, impulsive and dangerous behavior,
Oh, it's Thursday? Okay.
management issues. Remember Jamie's rant at the constable and authorities on the day of her arrest? She would accuse them of not believing her.
My sleep is so messed up. That's why I was like, what day is it?
What she said during her 000 call on July 23rd also confirmed this. Her state of mind was chaotic. She told the constable that she thought it felt good to take Mullen's life, but within the same minute, she
I have to save up some money for laundry too.
Peter Almond would tell Jamie Lee he believed she took Mullen's life.
At least my dad's laundry. I can't bring it over my boyfriend's. It's too much. So that's another thing I gotta do.
He said it was all fine. It was role play after all.
Being an adult is hard.
Jamie posted a lot on social media. Some posts were just photos of herself with various filters or makeup. Others were accompanied by text. And some of them were truly disturbing. Here's a post that Jamie Lee wrote about her childhood. Jamie Lee wrote on her social media that she had suffered all kinds of abuse at the hands of her family.
So what's up, everybody? I know I'm kind of like half dead right now, but
family abandoned her, never stopped tormenting her. She wrote this on May 20th, 2018. 2 months later, she would
I think I look tired. I can't believe that.
On May 21st, she also wrote a post raising awareness about CA and warning parents who behave in this monstrous way with their children. She would inflict unspeakable damage on herself, as this is how she felt. She did not know what else to do. Jamie had also said she felt she had a demon inside of her, fighting to come out.
Oh yeah, I know. Like every day is.
One of Jamie Lee's
It's just like one long day. I don't know.
She said her two-faced
You could
description of
sleep all
herself
day.
was
Aw,
true.
I'm
One
sorry
day
you're
the
so
friend said
exhausted.
she would be smiling and cracking jokes. The next, she would literally growl like a wolf. A few days before taking Mullen's life, Jamie Lee posted one more photo of herself, this time on Facebook. On July 23rd, the day she took Mullen's
When's the
life,
last time
she
you bought
texted one of her
cigarettes?
carers, She said,
I get Lucy's at the store for $1, so that's how I get them.
police, but they won't believe me. I want to cry.
I don't really see the comparison there.
Around Jamie Lee.
There's no clothing item you can get for $1.
And she openly admitted to finding happiness in watching others suffer. She was on a path from self-destruction
Like, makes
to
sense.
destruction.
Please.
Yet, no one realized they had to take more drastic
It's not like I have a carton of cigarettes that I paid for. I get Lucy's from the store for $1. And my dad needs clothing that obviously more than $1.
Would take a life. And you can't have someone arrested over a hunch.
I hear you. I'm supposed to go shopping today, grocery shopping, since we just got our EBT.
It's always clearer in hindsight.
So,
herself could not be fully blamed for what
I gotta
she
try to
did.
wake up before it gets dark today. That stupid daylight savings thing like threw me off now.
Renowned psychiatrist in Australia.
What's up,
They all
Tyler?
reached the same conclusion. She was one of the most psychologically damaged patients they had ever come across. In simple words, this means that Jamie Lee was not fully in control of her actions when she unalived Mullen. So she couldn't face the same degree of penalty as
Oh, Danielle, we blocked them together.
psychiatric evaluation. During her first court appearance, Jamie Lee was jolly. She showed her self-proclaimed
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just kind of get aggravated when people say, like, how can you have money for cigarettes and not money for whatever I'm asking for at the time? And it's just, it doesn't make sense to me because I can get 1 cigarette at a time, or 2 cigarettes actually for $1 at the store. There's no clothing items that you can compare to for that price. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're acting like I'm out there buying, like, cartons of shit, and instead of getting what I need with it, you know? Like, that's not the case. It just baffles me how they use that comparison.
And when she saw him, she knew he was quote unquote weak enough to be outpowered by her. What more than this confession could the jury want? Prosecutor Patrick Ford said,
she deliberately strangled him.
You're watching wrestling in the morning?
Until he became a dead weight.
However, Jamie Lee's attorney, Sharon
I didn't even know wrestling came on that early.
was an extremely
Unless you were watching it like on YouTube or something.
SA, and severely disturbed childhood. Sharon also said that Jamie Lee suffered from stunted psychological development as a result of all the trauma. While nothing excuses taking a life, Jamie Lee's mental state at the time of this
Yeah, my old landlord, oh, God rest him. I miss him. He was like he was like a new grandparent to me. We used to watch it on Peacock all the time, like all the WWE, all the pay-per-views and stuff, because he had like Fire Stick, Roku. It was really cool.
From a slew of mental illnesses, she did not suffer from psychosis.
But I haven't watched it in like 2 years.
What she did was wrong. While this was happening, Jamie Lee was drawing in a kid's coloring book and making origami. She did not appear to listen to what was going on around her.
Thank you guys, by the way. If anybody donates, I really appreciate it.
Every now and then, she smiled or laughed, often inappropriately. This
I got a
only
plum.
confirmed Sharon's theory. Then there was also testimony confirming Jamie Lee thought of herself as a werewolf. Other times, she was convinced her actions were controlled by an evil demon inside her. By New
Oh,
Year's
right, Tyler. You were there when I got banned because we were talking about it.
Australia.
That was literally what they banned me for last week. It was crazy.
Only hours after meeting him on a dating app.
All we were doing was talking about wrestling, and then it was like, oh, your behavior is inappropriate. Ban.
Victim, but a jury found she did not
Like, thank you. You can vouch for me that day because you were actually there. Like, we didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what the hell happened. But I got banned for 3 days.
Jamie Lee was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity.
As soon as it happened, my boyfriend was just like, damn, you got somebody out to get you. You got a severe hater or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck it is or what it is, but definitely didn't break any rules in that chat.
She said, I felt good for some reason because I've suffered so much in my life that I feel like
I just thought it was like ridiculous, but I'm back, so trying to just enjoy the now.
And phoned authorities before she could take his life.
During the trial, Dollar Guy smiled to herself as she drew pictures using coloured pencils. Today, however, she simply stared at the floor.
It's the boogie TikTok, man. That's fucked. That's fucked.
all of her psychiatric reports.
Judge Peter Allman told Jamie Lee,
You took the life of a young person. You had done nothing to harm or provoke you. He was totally trusted.
I need a
and
better
understood.
coffee mug.
speaking of Mullen's parents, they could Australia for the trial.
Or a tea mug, I should say, because I don't drink coffee anymore.
They could not
I miss coffee.
to save his life or push for a tougher punishment for Jamie Lee. Mullen's friends raised money to send
I miss coffee a
over
lot.
to Bergerac, where he was buried 12 days after his death. His family is still struggling to cope with the loss. It's a hole in their hearts that will never be filled. And the fact that Jamie Lee...
Why do I feel like when my birthday comes around and I'm actually turned 30, like my whole body is just gonna like start breaking down on me from there on?
Only 9 years behind bars, but she can be out any time now.
I'm just speaking my mind right now since nobody else is really talking in the chat. So, I don't know. My birthday's in April.
Her parole date has already arrived. She could be
So I still have a few months, but
even some of her former carers had advised the judge not to.
35 is when you're, oh, I'm sorry. I'm already like having like, cause I always, you guys see, I'm sitting like Indian style. I always sit with my legs crossed. I've always have since I was literally like, since I started walking and shit. Since I could sit, I sat like this. And lately I've been having like, my knees start to hurt when I sit like this for too long, and it's just starting to bug me that that's actually becoming a thing now. Like, no, I shouldn't be having these problems yet. I'm not even 30. That's why I'm like, I feel like when it comes around, I'm just gonna like, like crumble. But, yeah.
What should states do to ensure the fair treatment of troubled individuals while bringing justice to their victims? Let me know your take on things in a comment. And before you leave, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell button.
Crisscross applesauce PE style, yeah.
Watch what happened when I tried Chuck Norris's morning hack. I could not believe this couple, and you wouldn't either. So I was scrolling through videos the other day, and
I didn't want to speak. I know it sounds weird. I didn't really want to speak in the very beginning of the live just because, yeah, because I got banned so easily the other day. Like, I really don't know who's in here. Because there's quite a few people in here at the moment, and only three or four people are actually speaking. So it concerns me on who's on here just trying to get me in trouble for no reason right now. That's what's going through my head at the moment. And yeah, I don't even know why. I don't understand why. But
after being chased by a mob of vigilantes, 25-year-old Richard Ramirez had to be rescued.
Oh, it's okay, Casey. At least thanks for speaking up.
Inadvertently made the biggest arrest of the decade.
This one cop looks real close. Jesus.
It's okay, Danielle. I know you're busy.
At his trial, the most feared man in the USA declared...
Girls, I don't mean you guys. I know, I understand that. I'm trying to get the people that are in here not speaking to speak since, you know, they're in here. Good morning. I am not having a good day. I have to try to raise some money today so I can try to get my dad some clothing and at least start for the winter. I know the dollar store actually has slippers, so hopefully I can go there and I can buy them. They're not really $1. They're like $10 or $15, but it's still cheap, you know? Good morning. Thank you, Nicholas. I'll speak and say hi. What are you talking about?
Series of gruesome murders that spread fear across California. When Richard Ramirez was finally apprehended
Richard
by
Ramirez
in Los Angeles on August the 31st, 1985, it brought to an end one of the most prolific murderers.
Well, I appreciate the compliments, guys. I haven't slept yet, so I don't really feel that pretty right now.
Had terrorized the state of California for 14 months.
Oh, that's what you were responding to. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Haven't slept yet. Thank you guys for actually speaking up. So, just didn't want to be here and chatting to myself.
About as evil as anything I can imagine. He was intent to hurt.
Yeah, I now realize what he meant. Thanks.
Frank worked hard to help capture Ramirez.
I'm sorry to hear that. At least, you know how I feel right now.
in August 1985.
I served 22 years in the San Francisco homicide detail. Numerous cases were broke that I felt very good about. None as high as the Night Stalker.
Trying to think of something to talk about at the moment.
I and a few other gentlemen played a key role in breaking this case. It was probably the highlight of my career.
This killer's story begins over half a century ago. Richard Ramirez was born on February the 29th.
That's not really big news, but yeah, I managed to actually buy some sheets for my dad and I for our, instead of just sleeping on like blankets on the bed. So closer to a little normal, you know.
So they lived in several different areas, many of which had quite
Still got to figure out how to get all these blankets and stuff to the laundromat. I'm not even sure how much the machines are. I think they're $5 for the big one, like for the big one. So 5, 10, 5, 10. It's about $30, I think.
At a young age, he began rebelling against his
Good ear, yeah. I'm not really one to have music in the background because music will distract me, so I just put my serial killer stuff on, or crime stuff on, you know. Hope it doesn't bother anybody.
Short-tempered man. I'm not suggesting it was classic child abuse, but there was certainly physical violence. And Richie Ramirez shrank away, if you like, from his father. And he took refuge.
Thank you again, guys, for... Oh, thank you for the roses. Yeah, Dad's sleeping. I should be sleeping, but I thought maybe I can come on here and help him out a little bit today. He was talking to me all about it last night, and I don't know. I even asked him, like, why don't you want to just go to Salvation Army and maybe get some clothes there? And he just looked at me and was like, I've lost so much. I really don't want to use other people's clothes anymore. If I just want to try and get some of my own, even if it's like crappy quality, you know. So I mean, it just made me feel bad. So that's why I want to try to do this for him, because he's not wrong. He probably did lose a lot more than I did. The only thing he got to keep was like his pet. I lost mine, but he lost more possessions and belongings and sentimental things than I did, because I was able to, I had less than he did, I should say. So I don't know, it's just, I'm trying to do a little bit as I can, whether if it's just like a box of briefs or something, you know. And I'm rambling because no one's really saying anything anymore. I don't know.
To women in general. They became objects, they were not real, and they became, if I want to put it politely, not entirely human.
On May the 4th, 1973, Ramirez witnessed an event that would cement his feelings towards women and his admiration for cousin Mike.
He keeps his gun in the fridge because he says he likes to keep it cool. And this is another thing I think that quite impresses Richard. And one day Mike has a huge argument with his wife and ends up killing her. He shoots her in the face. And Richard is there in the house when this happens. What you've got here is a combination of things that have been going on. So a young lad who looks up to people who are violent, a young lad who hears stories of violence, and now he's actually seeing it happen.
Mike was a powerful influence in the direction of psychopathy, rage discontrol, and the merger, and this is the most important thing, the merger of sexual impulses and violent impulses into a single...
That's an idea, Danielle. I didn't know Walmart did wish lists. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't know, I just never looked into it, so that's an idea.
And his reaction to it is quite interesting, because when he talks about it afterwards,
but I don't really know
about how he feels seeing this woman murdered in front of him. He talks about it very...
Can you post 2 links on here, or can you only do one at a time? Because I don't want to, like, I gotta check that. If I can, I will. That's a great idea. Thank you.
He's just giving a very cold description, and I think this really does tell us what kind of person Ramirez is turning into.
Mike was immediately arrested. In court, he was judged to be not guilty on the grounds of insanity.
Oh, you're not positive? Well, I can look into it. That would be great, actually. But I don't know.
Ramirez, in the meantime, because he's removed from his era, goes to stay with his sister and husband.
The thing I'm most worried about buying him really is a new pair of shoes. Shoes are not cheap, at least if you want decent quality shoes.
So he doesn't look after himself. He's very unkempt. He's dirty. He doesn't wash, and so he becomes even more of an outcast. So he very much gets.
Yeah, honestly, my dad needs shoes. My dad, when he walks, he drags his feet, so he kind of wear and tears down his shoes, no matter what kind they are. So.
While he was still at school,
Oh, well, my dad does want boots, but I'm assuming boots are like, I don't know, I think boots are more expensive or just as expensive. I don't know, those are two really expensive things. I would get him boots too if possible. He likes those steel toe boots, those, I don't know if they're Timberlands or, I forgot what they're called. And my dad's like obsessed with Lee jeans, and ever since Sears closed down, he has no idea where to find them anymore. And I'm trying to tell him to like look in Walmart and shit, and he's just like, I don't think they'd have them, blah 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 blah. He's so stubborn.
A lucky escape for Ramirez. Living on the edges of society.
Thanks for letting me know. I haven't actually looked yet, guys. I have no money at all to even put towards it, so I haven't actually taken a look at any prices or anything, or, yeah. Walmart has, like, everything, so Walmart would be a great choice to have a gift list from, or a wish list, but I gotta see if it exists first. Thanks, guys. I wouldn't know. I bought a pair of steel. Oh, cool. I know they do online, definitely online. I feel like shoes, like, I don't know, I think he'd enjoy the outing if I were able to get him shoes in person, because he'd be able to actually try them on and pick them out. Certain clothing, like, and shoes that you buy online are kind of annoying, just for the fact that the fit isn't tested before you get them. And just from experience, so, I don't know, it would be nicer for him to buy them in person. I'm not trying to say I'd rather do that, I don't care. However I can get them, I will do that, but, yeah. His birthday's in March, his birthday's, like, before mine, too, so maybe I can do something for him around then if I can save up enough. Do something for him around then if I can save up enough.
1984, 79-year-old Jenny Vincow was found. She had almost been decapitated.
Danielle just sent me a text message showing me the wish list thingy, so I can do a wish list, so I'm gonna wind up making one of those for my dad specifically, so I'll post it here and hopefully you guys can help. I really would appreciate that.
And I think when you have that access and an opportunity presents itself, and you are the type of person who gets off on violence, who doesn't feel bad about hurting other people, then you are somebody who's likely to take advantage of that opportunity when it presents itself. So I think it's a gradual escalation of behaviour.
6 months after his first murder, Ramirez was in custody, but not for murder. He was arrested on a charge of car theft.
That's definitely something I'm going to try to do. I think I have to make an account for Walmart before I can do I don't know if I need to do that before a wish list is made, but I'll check it out. I don't care. I just don't want my dad to go without this winter. Thanks for letting me know, Danielle. I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't even think about a Walmart thing. But I guess I'll just try to save up on my own. If anybody can donate to help me save up for shoes or boots, sneakers or boots, whichever one I can figure out. I want to be able to get those for him in person so he can pick them out himself.
or a burglar whose object felony was sexual murder.
He's not someone who can form relationships with
I mean,
women.
he's been wearing hand-me-down clothes for quite a while now, so
So he's only going to do
I don't know, it'd be nice for him.
11 days later, Ramirez was on the hunt once more. He broke into the home of 64-year-old Vincent Zazara and his wife Maxine in the city of Whittier. Ramirez shot Vincent in the head, killing him instantly.
Then tied up his wife, who was 20 years younger, Maxine, demanding money. Where did she keep the valuables?
One of the things Ramirez would do would be he would restrain his victims. That's obviously got a physical impact. It means you can't move. It means you're not able to respond to an assailant. And obviously there's the psychological element of helplessness and powerlessness.
Ramirez shot her 3 times. And then he mutilated her grotesquely.
Oh, Danielle, unfortunately my
gouging her eyes out.
my expenses don't really, I can't schedule my expenses to be ready for Black Friday. I would love to be able to do that, but
In homicide cases,
I have no idea if I'll have enough for however much or whatever, you know what I mean?
angry or where there's a domestic
Like, I have to raise
dispute,
some money first
they're not
in order to
really
do that.
the sort of planned, orchestrated murders that we see in cases like Ramirez. In those cases, you can see bizarre behaviour, both the body before death and mutilation after death, and that's very much more about what's in the mind of the killer.
Vincent Zazara was a well-respected member of the Whittier community. He ran a local
Oh well.
pizzeria after
I'm still gonna
serving
look
in the
into it and
Second
stuff.
World War.
It's just the fact that I, you know,
Remembers
I have to
his
find
father
out
fondly.
Well, my dad was a
what like, how much even though, like, my dad's boots would go for, you know what I'm saying? For instance, like, I'd have to get a roundabout price, so that way I can have at least that much saved up to be able to go out and let him pick a pair out, you know?
He was a pretty accomplished person that way.
I don't want to just be like, yeah, pick something out and then I'll figure out how to get it whenever I can afford it, you know? I don't want to do that. I want to get them all excited just to put them on pause and wait.
I got a call. He told me what had happened. And we drove up. I was living in Pico Rivera. We drove up to Whittier. And I just remember that how could it be possible? And I was just in a state of shock.
It's just how my mind works, you know?
As Peter arrived at his father's house, it was surrounded by emergency
I really, really hope I can, though.
Came at all the
I mean,
police outside. We were outside.
I come on here and I ask for help all the time and stuff, but
My fiance at the
when it
time.
comes to my dad,
And,
I'm more grateful when you guys help me with him than myself, just because I care about him more than myself, so I just want to make sure that he's, you know, he's taken care of, he's warm, he's
had become Ramirez's fourth
not
and
struggling
sixth
because he can't afford anything.
victim. Over 30 years later, Peter is still struggling to come to terms
I
with
mean,
the
he's
murder.
broke since we just paid rent now, so
It's hard for me to get on with my life. It's hard to screwed my life up a lot because of it. I would be a different person, I think.
people can buy and pick up at the store, and if something doesn't fit, I know you can do that, but we can't go to the store ourselves. We can't go there ourselves. We can't buy them ourselves in person. We don't have transportation to the store. We don't drive or have a car. So, hi Jazzy. Good morning.
Over the next 4.5 months, 25-year-old Ramirez became even more prolific. Between May and August of 1985, he continued to break into cities across County, killing a further 8 people and attempting to kill another 2. The whole of Southern California was gripped with fear. Although each crime scene was distinct,
Hold on, guys.
investigators began to listen based on the ferocity of the murder.
There is no question that this is a crime really unique in its level of terror. It was unique in its level of terror for several important reasons. One, the lack of predictability about victims. You could not, as a citizen, say to yourself, I'm safe because I'm not a prostitute. Or you couldn't say, I'm safe because I live in Beverly Hills, because there was no place you were safe. And then what made it especially terrifying is the circumstances of the murders as they took place. One, that they took place often at night in the darkness. And two, they took place in a place that you ordinarily regard as the safest place in the universe, your personal home. That made this terror beyond belief.
Ramirez's series of attacks were random and indiscriminate. Anyone could be targeted, men or women.
As far as we can tell, nothing attracted him to his victims in particular. He would often break into residences, not knowing who was in the residence, depending on
Back.
men or women, killing them and having.
Oh, thanks, Jazzy.
Ramirez didn't have a particular age in mind. He didn't have a particular race in mind. He didn't have a particular socioeconomic status in mind. He was a man who had rampant chaotic impulses and basically attacked and killed whoever was in the room. His rage inflamed itself.
Ramirez did not appear to favor any particular method of killing. He would murder his victims by any means necessary. And that made it even harder for investigators to decide who had committed the crime.
He would stab, he would shoot, he would stamp, he would rape, he would force himself on people orally.
I can't find something.
Really, he just seemed to revel.
Thoughts on what?
And it was quite a while.
Thank you, Jazzy. I appreciate anything. Anybody, if anybody can help, I really appreciate it.
So here's somebody who terrorized Los Angeles, and they didn't realize that it was the same person who was doing this till quite late on in the day.
By August the 8th, 1985, Richard Ramirez had killed 13 people in the Los Angeles area. His lust for blood was relentless.
We are a species that craves to be in a feeling state. The serial killer, their brain is numb.
You're invited to join me at Playstar, New Jersey's finest online casino. We've got over 500 of the best online games to choose from, incredible cash jackpots, and stacks of star-studded perks to enjoy every week when you play. Sign up now and get started with your welcome offer. Playstar.com. Playstar. Be the star.
Most of the time. So for them to feel they have to do something that's the equivalent of smacking their hand. They have to create a level of arousal and intensity around them that boosts their affect range.
The $5.
Well, Ramirez would have thought at this point in time
I appreciate you.
that he is an accomplished predator because he's not getting caught. The police don't even know
This weather is so crazy. It was so cold like 3 days ago, and now it's freaking hot again.
Because his MO is all over the place.
And living in an attic, it's just hotter.
380 miles north of Los Angeles in San Francisco, Detective Frank Falzon was hoping the murders wouldn't spread any further afield.
We were hearing in San Francisco at that time about a valley intruder. The valley intruder was
again, I appreciate
breaking into homes
anything
in
anybody can do to help.
California, predominantly the Los Angeles area, killing the husband, attacking the wife, ransacking the house, and burglarizing
who told me?
Valuable property.
Frank had heard about the fear felt among
I forgot who I was talking to, but somebody was like, I think maybe it was my dad. He said that the weather is so messed up that it's probably going to be like, it's probably going to snow in April. And it's just going to be like hot, or not hot, but like too warm for Christmas this year and shit, you know what I mean? Not another family, it's we met the two people that we live with at the hotel that when we were homeless. Actually, they were like next door to us and they were looking for somewhere to live too, but they couldn't afford anything. So when they found a place, they invited us over here to move in with them. So it's just like a daughter and mother. That's it. It's just 2 people. I don't know why I over-explained, but yeah, like, it's just 2 people. Just like me and my dad, it's just her and her mom.
And his cruelty knew no bounds. He would often brutally rape and torture women. Locals were terrified.
Yeah.
It was a summer of extreme heat, and people were afraid to leave their doors unlocked, afraid to leave their windows open. Purchasing of guns went way up in the state of California. I would say every active police officer within the state of California was looking for Richard Ramirez. He would have been a big feather in any police officer's cap for his capture.
Ramirez, aware of the growing media spotlight on his crimes, had moved north to San Francisco.
Yeah, it would be okay if we had our own kitchen and bathroom, but we don't. We're living up here without that. If we had our own kitchen and bathroom, but we don't. We're living up here without that. But we don't. We're living up here without that.